TC, Steve Cordasco, John Walker. By the way, let's just pause on that name, Johnny Walker.
We like that.
As they call him, Red.
Yeah.
Steve Cordasco, John Walker, and the team at Mercer Advisors. They can help you plan for your secure retirement. A couple of my listeners in nearby Narberth, Pennsylvania, late 50s, caring for a sick parent, had a grandchild on the way, heard me talk about the Cordasco Financial Network, now part of Mercer Advisors, contacted Steve and his team, John and company. They put together a comprehensive retirement plan, mapped out a timeline, cash flow, portfolio mix, ran the numbers, the what-if scenarios. The couple was able to retire 3 years earlier than they expected. Now they can more easily divide their time to help others. That's what it's all about. Call 855-558-3500. The Cordasco Financial Network, that's a trade name. It's owned by Mercer Global Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Securities offered through Andrew Garrett, Inc., not affiliated with Cordasco Financial Network or Mercer Advisors. Time now for the headlines from Smerconish.com, the newsletter. There is one headline today. Godspeed to all of our friends in Florida. Everything else is secondary. We are, fingers crossed, praying for what would I say? The safest of resolutions to Hurricane
unfortunately,
Ian.
I think the time has passed for it to be not a big storm. So it is a big storm, and now we just have to hope that people stay safe and listen to evacuation orders and follow directions and help each other. I marvel. Marvel's not the right word. I'm wondering where do all those people go? I mean, some have neighbors to the north, some have family that they can go to, but what if you don't? What if you literally don't know where to go? It just is incredible to me.
Dateline, Pinar del Rio.
Oh, wait.
You've heard me reference the Pinar del Rio.
You're been to tobacco.
That's exactly right. The Pinar del Rio is
the valley.
Is the soil.
Yeah.
The best soil on the planet for the growing of tobacco. Dateline, Pinar del Rio, Cuba's electrical grid collapsed late on Tuesday, leaving the entire country in the dark. Shortly after Hurricane Ian plowed through the western end of the island, leaving a path of destruction in its wake, the sprawling Category 3, obviously now 4, barreling toward the dry Tortugas, off the Florida Keys late on Tuesday. The rest of it is dated. Cuba's electrical grid, decades old and in desperate need of modernization, has been faltering for months with blackouts an everyday event across much of the island.
And now it's just dark.
And as referenced earlier, big test for Ron DeSantis.
Yeah,
big test for Ron DeSantis. I hope he passes because I want Florida to be safe. But the Politico story that I linked to today at Smerconish.com says this: Governor Ron DeSantis spent his first term becoming one of the most influential Republicans in the country, a likely 2024 frontrunner who's already shaping the party's national agenda. But DeSantis still hasn't faced one of the toughest challenges a Florida leader can encounter, a major hurricane. Jeb Bush had 4 of them in 1 year. Charlie Crist never had anything make landfall.
Okay, but
during his term, during his one. So this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. And get used to seeing DeSantis for the next 24 or 48 hours on all the outlets, not just on Fox News. Yesterday, poll question was, should history be viewed through the lens of the present? Should history be viewed through the lens of the present? This is about James Sweet, the president of the American Historical Association, who penned an essay and then quickly backtracked and apologized for it. What did he say? Among other things, doing history with integrity requires us to interpret elements of the past, not through the optics of the present, but within the worlds of our historical actors. So what did all of you think? Should history be viewed through the lens of the present? 69.38% said no. The remainder said yes. Good news. The Boudoir album from Utah made the cut today for Smerconish.com, the newsletter. Take a look at the picture. Take a look at the photograph that Alice selected to go with it. tomorrow, this might be fodder. The calls yesterday were off the hook.
I couldn't believe it. I don't think certain phraseology that was uttered on the program yesterday has ever been uttered on the program yesterday. I also was amazed. There were people with varying opinions on this. Not everybody thought that she should get the Boudoir album. Some people thought the ex-husband should get the Boudoir album. A lot of people had experience with Boudoir albums.
I was very impressed with the audience.
Oh my.
Utah woman, in case you missed it yesterday, Utah woman ordered by judge to hand over her nude boudoir album to her ex-husband in divorce proceedings because he wanted to keep it for the memories.
Is it nude? I mean, I know it says nude in the headline.
TC, I hope to be able to ask her tomorrow.
We'll ask her tomorrow.
You have her.
I do.
She's booked.
She's booked tomorrow in the second hour of the program.
Okay. Lindsay Marsh
Tune in.
filed for divorce from her husband, Chris, in April of 2021. They were together 25 years. He presented a list of items he wished to keep from the marriage, including a series of nude boudoir photographs that she took years ago. The judge ordered that she hand over the book. She complained, won the right to edit the photos to hide her body. She said she felt violated by the judge's ruling and intends to burn the original photo album.
Wow.
So
just wow. There's so much there. But yeah, the calls were, let's say, revelatory yesterday.
And I can't wait till tomorrow when we hear her explanation of it. And then, I mean, the issue is the husband a creeper? Or, there were nice messages and he just wants to hold on to the memories, nice written messages. So we'll see.
Okay.
We shall see. Ladies and gentlemen, today's poll question, would you patronize a business knowing you disagree with the political views of its owner? This is the reason that I'm asking this question. Of course, I'm fixated on the Pennsylvania election, both gubernatorial and Senate. Senate is Fetterman and Oz. You know that. Gubernatorial is Mastriano and Josh Shapiro. If the polling is to be believed, Shapiro has a commanding lead over Doug Mastriano, the Republican. Mastriano is one of those that you would call, or that at least President Biden would call, a super MAGA candidate. And he's having fundraising difficulties. That is pointed out in a Philadelphia Inquirer story. He's not even on television. And I've said before, if you're a Pennsylvanian and you see him on TV, it's a negative ad. That's not what I'm talking about. So there's a story in the Philadelphia Inquirer today talking about the lopsided fundraising. And it says this: nearly a third of Mastriano's fundraising, nearly a third, came from one wealthy couple, Richard and Elizabeth Uline, billionaire conservative donors who live in suburban Chicago. Richard Uline gave Mastriano $900,000 on August 24, the day his wife chipped in another $100,000. Now, what's curious is it also says Uline, the CEO of a packing supply company, helped fund a super PAC that attempted to defeat Mastriano in the Republican primary by supporting first former U.S. Attorney Bill McSwain, later former U.S. Representative Lou Barletta. Mastriano easily bested them in a crowded primary. So I read the story and I'm like, wait, Uline, although the name of the family is Uihlein, I know and love and have talked to you about and made reference to earlier the Uline catalog, which is just a salve for my OCD. Like 90% of the stuff in the catalog I have no use for.
And yet
I love looking at it.
Yes. It's like a more gritty container store. It's like the real supplies that you need. We had that catalog here in studio forever.
Yeah, I couldn't find it today.
It was like this thick. It was huge.
Well, I mean, it's amazing, TC, because I've not spent enough with Uline to justify sending me that expensive catalog multiple times a year.
And yet
they do.
They do.
And it's beautifully produced. Okay, first of all, it's industrial photography. It's not exactly boudoir shots.
Okay, but that's what I mean. More gritty. Like the Container Store, which you also love, is like gorgeous and colorful and designer.
Right.
Uline is like, here are envelopes for your business. Here are paper for your business. Here's wrapping things for your business. And it's just very organized.
Here's the rubber mat that you stand on if you have a job where you're going to be standing on your feet for hours on end.
Right.
Uline has the mat for you.
Correct.
So, but
You
the
love it. You love
photography is very well done. Just imagine, not that anybody typesets per se anymore, but the amount of copy that has to go into it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's an undertaking.
It's a massive undertaking, and I just admire it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, here is the most MAGA of all candidate who just was the recipient of $1 million from the people who own this company.
Fascinating.
So here's the issue.
Now what?
Does that impact your thinking when you're about to engage in, a retail exchange? Wait a minute, the people who own the and we've asked this question many times before. We've asked it in the context of music, pop culture, businesses, the exterminator. He shows up and he's got a bumper sticker and it's a candidate you don't agree with. Does that factor into your thinking? So yes, that's what I'm asking again today.
Is there a difference between a bumper sticker and $1 million, or when your billionaires is $1 million, just their version of a bumper sticker?
Just going to say
you know what
that.
I'm saying?
One person's bumper sticker is $1 million.
That's the point, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's just, I'm fascinated by the whole issue, especially this day and age. And I wonder if we had asked this question 20 years ago, if it would have been a different response. I'm interested to see what the results are, but I'm wondering if it would have been less abrasive a couple decades ago.
If we'd asked the question 20 years ago, we'd have gotten a different response than we're going to get today.
I think so.
My answer to this question, would you patronize a business knowing you disagree with the political views of its owner?
I already do. I have to say yes.
Mine is yes.
I have to say yes.
Yeah. Am I going to stop looking at the Uline catalog because I just heard they gave $1 million to Mastriano, and Mastriano wanted to overturn the election and says that he might the next time? Or how about this story from today? State Senator Doug Mastriano, the Republican nominee for governor in Pennsylvania, said in 2019 that women should be charged with murder if they violated his proposed abortion ban. In an interview with a Pennsylvania radio station, he was pressed about a bill he sponsored that would generally bar abortions when a fetal heart rate could first be detected, usually around 6 weeks. His remarks in this interview, previously unreported, under his proposed legislation, he was asked whether a woman who decided to get an abortion at 10 weeks gestation would be charged with murder. Quote, okay, let's go back to the basic question there, Mastriano said. Is that a human being? Is that a little boy or girl? If it is, it deserves equal protection under the law. Asked if he was saying yes, they should be charged with murder, meaning the mother, he said, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Hey, he's nothing if not consistent, right? So, okay, that guy just got $1 million from the people who own the packaging company that I love the catalog. Now, should I stop ordering from their catalog? That's the question at Smerconish.com today. I highly recommend John King. You know, John King, the map, CNN, the number cruncher, does a phenomenal job. Every 4 years, TC, when he stands in front of that map, I sit there and say to myself or to others if I'm on the CNN set, whatever they're paying him isn't enough.
Yes.
I don't care what he does. I don't care what he does the rest of the the year.
He's in some random corner of a state that that not as many people know about, and he's naming counties and he's flipping things up and down. He's going back to the 4 years ago. It's amazing.
Okay, so today, writing for CNN, he's focused on Northampton County, Pennsylvania. Lehigh, my alma mater,
You know it well.
is in Northampton County. Lehigh and Lafayette, which is in Easton. Bethlehem and Easton, both in Northampton County. Listen to this. Barack Obama carried Northampton County twice. Donald Trump won it in 2016. Joe Biden narrowly flipped Northampton County in 2020. Only 25 counties in America share that voting pattern. They got it right for both Obama elections and Trump and Biden. So he says, this year, all eyes ought to be on Northampton County, Pennsylvania, to see what's going to happen. Alice this morning, who's the editor of Smerconish.com, little sort of follow-up with me. Is this really the headline you want in the newsletter, she asks. Because I don't typically write the headlines, TC, although maybe with the new incarnation.
Boy, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe with the new incarnation of the website, we're a week away from that. I might dabble a little more in the headline writing.
Oh my.
But there's a story today about an individual who yesterday was sentenced to jail and carted right out of the courtroom.
Is that unusual?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Was not given any. And the judge who sentenced.
Does that mean he's dangerous?
The judge no, it means the judge wanted to punish him.
Oh.
The judge happens to be a very close personal friend of mine.
Oh. And
cards on the table.
What headline did you put on this?
Money talks, bullshit walks.
Oh, jeez.
Because those are the words made famous by the individual I'm talking about, former Congressman, U.S. Representative Michael Ozzie Myers. The last time, listen to the lead of this story. The last time U.S. Representative Michael Ozzie Myers stood before a federal judge to face sentencing in a bribery case, Ronald Reagan was president, and Abscam, the 1970s scandal that sent Myers and a host of other elected officials to prison, dominated the newspaper headlines. The South Philadelphia politician emerged from the New York courtroom brimming with confidence that his conviction would be overturned on appeal. But as the now 79-year-old found himself facing a similar predicament Tuesday, this time awaiting punishment for a separate bribery scheme involving what? Ballot stuffing? He didn't emerge from the courthouse at all. So, saying he had little confidence Myers had learned anything in the 4 decades between his convictions, U.S. District Court Judge Paul S. Diamond sentenced the former congressman to 2.5 years in prison and ordered him hauled off to prison immediately, a decision that hit the courtroom like a bomb. Apparently, there were people gasping, crying, muttering about the judge under their breath. But the point is, Ozzie Myers, like, this is what he got jammed up for 40 years ago. It was a bribe. And now he just pled guilty to, he admitted that he paid the judge of elections in 2 polling places to add additional votes to the end of day tally between 2014 and 2018.
Why?
Just can't.
Why would he do that?
Can't help himself.
Wow.
79 years old, and there he goes.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is a crazy story.
Do they call him congressman in the slammer?
Got to respect it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this is kind of a Philly-centric and PA-centric, but I think they're all interesting stories, so be it. Sadly, 5 players were shot after an ambush near the Roxborough High School, not far from where you and I are located right now. A teenager was killed, 4 others were injured. Philadelphia and crime, very much, like, as I look at these cable outlets, very much in the news.
Yeah, I'm always getting calls from my parents saying, what is going on up there? There's actually a piece in the Daily Mail that I don't think you linked to at smerconish.com, but with this crazy headline, quote, "The birthplace of liberty is a cesspool. Philadelphia citizens outraged over spate of shocking high-profile crimes with more than 700 people hit by gunfire since Memorial Day." Like, what is going on? It's crazy. The shootings and assaults have been rife. Gun violence.
The Wawa,
wilding.
Yeah.
Crime wave. One incident past week, a Temple University grad student murdered by a masked gunman. And now a 14-year-old football player is dead. Sad.
Really, really sad. You know what else is sad and twisted? The Montana woman who skinned a Siberian husky.
Okay, here's what my question. First of all, okay, she said it was like she thought it was a wolf pup. So if you...
Why would you even skin a wolf pup?
I don't know. So then I'm thinking, okay, if it was a wolf, would I feel differently? Because I get sick looking at that. Because of course, who do I think of? I think of our dogs.
Yeah.
But then I also have Gary Francione in my head who would say, okay, TC, what's the difference between Augie and an actual wolf, which you wouldn't be so shocked about? But those pictures are jarring, to say the least.
I recommend people look at the boudoir picture and not the Siberian husky picture.
I agree with that.
At Smerconish.com.
Yeah.
You have your choice, but I
By
recommend
the way, we're not
one.
actually looking at the boudoir photo, just so we know. Those are pictures that she
Not
posted
yet. She'll be here tomorrow.
online.
I'll be asking.
Oh, geez. Okay. Oh,
Hey, she could auction that for charity.
like Elon Musk's girlfriend?
I don't think it would go for that big of a number. I don't know. I'd have to see the
Can
pictures.
you just wait until you actually have her on?
The Daily Mail had
just stop talking because she's not going to come on.
The
Stop.
I'll just say this. The Daily Mail had a photograph of her in a bathing suit.
Oh, she's a beautiful woman, to be clear.
And it was quite a busty shot.
Yeah.
And I looked.
Oh, stop.
It's
Oh,
research,
God.
TC.
Oh, my
and I
God.
looked at it, and did you see the shot that I'm talking about?
Yes, Michael.
What did you notice about
do we
it?
have to discuss?
What did you notice about
She
it?
had something between her breasts.
Right. What was that?
I don't know.
She'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, we'll discuss.
Will I ask her that?
Of course you will.
No,
I think
won't.
she seems like a really good egg.
I agree.
Like but just in dealing with her behind the scenes, she seems like a really good spirit.
As evidenced by her willingness to come on the program and talk about it.
Correct.
There's a lot more at Smerconish.com.
Yeah,
I'm running out of time. I don't have the opportunity to mention all of it, but check out, among other things, these two juxtaposed stories. One is our friend, TC's friend in particular, Annie Duke, author of a brand new book,
Annie!
Quit, The Power of Knowing When to Walk Away. So there's that.
Yep.
And then there's a story, and I actually went right to the study itself that says, with job flexibility being so important to many, it may be no surprise that half of respondents believe they will leave their current job within the next year.
Amazing.
Half think they're walking into work today thinking, I'm leaving, I'm out of here within the next year.
TikTok.
Yeah. Like what happened to 25 years and a watch?
Yeah, that piece that you posted of Annie's talks about quiet quitting. And her point is, why don't you just quit? Like, it's really interesting. It's a great read.
She'll be here
in the
within a
next
week.
couple weeks, yeah.
Within a week,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I told you, I'm on such a roll with books.
There's some good ones out there.
Annie's next up.
Good.
Because I just finished Scott Galloway's brand new
I
book,
saw it
which
on
is
your Instagram.
tremendous. Funny story, I'll tell you later. I blurbed it and didn't know I'd blurbed it, and I just loved it. And I wrote to him and I said, this book is great. And he wrote back, thank you so much. And now I'm thinking, he must think I love it because my name's on the jacket. I swear to God, I didn't even know. And then the Mike Rinder book about Scientology.
Yes.
I'm almost finished that.
Good.
And Annie Duke is up next.
Love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, go to Smerconish.com and vote on today's poll question. Would you patronize a business knowing you disagree with the political views of its owner? See ya.